Let's go! So, yes, we have a deep film study today. I know a lot of you are looking forward to mostly us focusing on this horrid second half for LSU. But I think a lot of the issues for LSU was all shown on this play from the first half. So we get a little unlucky that the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage because this was very clearly pass interference. And we were able to draw this flag. Now, the reason why I want to focus on this play to start is that it shows all the issues with LSU's football team, okay? And honestly, of course, as many of you know that watched the live stream last night, Ed Orgeron got flamed, and he deserves to. We actually had a double team right here. So the reason why this ball was tipped was because Liam got blown 6 yards into the backfield, and they were able to get just a little tip. And here's the thing. This would have been pass interference if he was not bull rushed, and then we would have gotten, obviously, a 15-yard penalty, and at the very least would have gotten a field goal out of the drive. So this was also a case where Derek Mason made a really big coaching decision. So what Derek Mason decided to do to his pass rush is, this was the first play of the second quarter. He normally lined up his defensive tackles in like just a traditional 1 and a traditional 3 technique, but he did something really creative here. He actually stacked his defensive tackles here, knowing that he was going to consistently get a head zero bull rush right up the middle every single time. And guess what? It delivered. So once again, I know we're going to get to the second half. I know that's what a lot of you want to see. Once again, Greg McElroy's pointed this out. This is a light box. We should be able to run against this, and at the very least, we should be able to pass protect against this box, but there is nothing you can do when they are bull rushing you to high heavens right here. And what they did is actually they twisted this guy around. I don't know why Ed is not helping with this twist right here. Auburn got Ed through the A-gap a lot last year as well. And when you get bull rush to high heavens, you just have no chance. So Max has no chance here. And the issue is he would have had, if he would have worked backside, Kayshawn right there. Okay? So that was the issue all game, was just straight head up nose pressure. It's really hard to get to the middle of the field. The bottom line is when you miss on key offensive linemen in recruiting, for instance, Georgia's center, Cedric Van Pran, is from New Orleans. He dominated, and it was only his 5th start versus Arkansas. He dominated them. Center is such a critical position, and Liam had the worst night of his career. So you see the ball was slightly deflected. The one thing you can always count on with Liam Shanahan, though, is that you're going to get good snaps. As many of you saw on the first drive of the game, Liam Shanahan had an awful snap. He was really, really bad this game. The middle of the LSU offensive line, but in particular, was very, very bad. So you know, that's the first thing, is obviously Ed Orgeron not trying to get a new center or Brad Davis or somebody because Liam Shanahan's not cutting it. But the problem is you didn't try anybody else new. Try whoever. Whatever happened to Joseph Evans playing on the offensive line? We're fine at defensive tackle. There's so many different issues with this. Now we get to this decision, and this will be the last play of the first half we'll break down because I know a lot of you want to get to the second half. This right here is an awful decision in my book by LSU to punt the ball in 4th and 5 in plus territory. You either go for it or you try a Cade York field goal. So you're looking at a series of tweets here, and look at all these tweets, not only from last night's game, but just in the past, of people saying Cade York is able to make field goal kicks from 60 yards. And let's be honest, his kick versus Florida probably would have been good from 63. Been a 58-yard field goal, and Cade York was making it easy from 60 yards pregame, and he consistently, it wasn't just a one-night thing, he consistently makes these 60-yard field goals in pregame. The conditions are great. It doesn't look like the wind is blowing. Making this field goal will guarantee you a two-possession lead, or at least attempting it. Cade York has been so good for you. He's been so dominant this season. You don't have to worry about a field goal block. Jacob Hester did a really good film study with Cade York last week on the importance of getting good height on your kicks. You've got to let Cade York let it fly there. And I'm only going to show you this play, not because it was a ridiculous play by Bo Nix, but this was just ridiculous by Brian Harsin to go for it on 4th and 2. I don't know what the deal is here. I want to point this out really quickly. B.J. Ojulari's not seeing the football. He is late in his get-off a lot. I don't know if this is by design, but he's not seeing the football well. Look, everybody is out of their stance by a good little bit, and he's late getting off here. He gets a little jam right here, and we're actually playing this flat route. That's where Bo Nix wanted to go with this. Because BJ was late, he was actually able to get in this passing angle right here. So this was actually there for Bo Nix. Well, it wasn't. BJ stopped it. So maybe that's by design to get that running back. But I want you to remember this play for later. So once again, we'll show you just this ridiculous Bo Nix play. BJ, we gotta have this right here. We gotta have this. And once again, this whirling Derbyshire spin move is really difficult for defensive linemen to stop. But BJ really didn't get close there. And this was just ridiculous playmaking by Bo Nix. Honestly, I don't know what else you could do defensively there. I thought LSU should have brought more delayed blitzes, potentially put more faster players at defensive tackle to rush. Let's go! So will LSU finally have a good second half? No, and it really sucks considering that LSU was gifted an onside kick and really good field position to start the second half. So you're looking at, right now, before we break down a play, the halftime statistics, and as you can tell, LSU going for 230 first half yards with no running game is pretty impressive. But really, while you do look at the first half stats and they do look good for LSU, we had the cowardly decision to punt the football. We backed into the half. Auburn was feeling good about the half. And then in the second half, we get dominated. We go from 7 yards per play down to 5.4 yards per play. And even though we had 230 first half yards, we were only able to get 120 second half yards. So let's break down what actually happened. I actually like this first down play right here. Good job by Jack coming down and sealing this edge defender. We're getting Chasen Hines on a pull here. I thought we should have pulled Chasen a little bit more. He did a really good job with it last week. So, good. We need TDP to break through here and make something happen. And once again, Liam was just a little late making this block. We had everything blocked right. Good job by Ed getting to the second level. And now we just need to set these blocks up. Good job by Chasen. We need Liam to get to this guy and seal him. Maybe TDP could have done a better job allowing Liam to set this up. But a good running back, a better running back, could have sprinted through here. Maybe Kiner sprints through there. But once again, it's a difficult block for Liam to make. But it was there. We could have gotten more there. But at least it was a good first down play. Good job by Jere blocking down the field. So this is good. Second down, we got some tempo going. We were able to get this play off in 15 seconds. We fake here. We fake here. Now we have them off balance. And we hit Jack Besh. Really good play call right here. Wasn't necessarily the smoothest throw and catch, but we pick up the first down. So once again, we're getting a good quick snap off here. 15 seconds. Good stuff. So we're playing some decent tempo here. And Max, okay, we got Jack Besh right here. Is he going to throw it? Is he going to throw it? Is he going to throw it? No, he's not going to throw it. Teams have been letting us play pitch and catch with Jack Besh all day. His first read was obviously to Kayshawn here, TDP in the flat, work backside, and he's looking at him, it looks like. You got to let it rip, baby. You got to let this rip right there. So that's a bad miss by Max. And even though we went through those halftime statistics, the bottom line is Max regressed. And we talked about this last week about Max. He ended up making a really good play here to Jure. Good job by Jure to come back, but it was incomplete. I actually got my plays confused there. So it actually makes that even worse. You got to hit Jack Best here on first down. We are 2nd and 10. We do a lot of checks at the line of scrimmage, and they decide to crowd the line of scrimmage. And we're going to try and run it. Liam with the whiff right there, and this play gets blown up. We miss the second level block by Chase and Hines. Okay, camera angle's really tight here. They're bringing a delayed A-gap blitzer, and we pick it up good. So this is decent pass protection. Good, clean pocket for Max. He fits the ball in a tight window to Kayshawn for the 3rd and 10 conversion. We are 1st and 10, and this was another miss to Jack Besh. They're giving you this. We want to play pitch and catch. So Kayshawn's covered. Should he get off of Kayshawn? Once we're right here, you got to get off of this and go to your second read. Jack Besh is just sitting here for an easy first down. Or at least 7-8 yards right here, and we're just locking on here, and we had a decent pocket for him to work with. The only issue here is once Max sees that this guy is beating your left tackle to the inside, it is always smart to roll out to your left to break this contain, but he did have time to get off of this and go to your second read. So Max does this. He breaks off contain. Good job. They did a really good job with their pass rush lane integrity. So 25 saw that this end was going inside, so he knows he has to get flat and become the new contained defender. And now we're throwing this ball late to Jack Besh over the middle. And this was a drop by Jack. It could have been a lot worse. Honestly, Max had some really good turnover luck. He's had some really good turnover luck overall in his career up to this point. That's a drop by Jack. You got to make that catch, but the ball should have been delivered to him from the get-go. All right, so we benched Jack Besh and put Colt Taylor into the game. Very interesting. So 2nd and 10, and even though it wasn't Jack Besh's fault, same thing's happening. Our nose tackle, this nose tackle is just blowing us into oblivion. We actually had Colt Taylor over the middle. If we wanted it, Max makes a good read to throw to Jure Jenkins, who runs a really good route, and we get him the football here. Good stuff. Alrighty, so it's 3rd and 2, and they throw an exotic look at us, okay? And they only decide to rush 3. Good job by Ed to come help out Liam on this nose tackle. We have 3 guys on this nose tackle, so we should have time to make some kind of play. Let's see. Boom. Okay. Once again, Max just doesn't see the middle of the field well. And let's be honest, when your nose tackle is getting blown back into you as many times, it's really hard to look over the middle. But we actually had Jure right here for a conversion. Okay? Boom. And he's sitting in the zone. It's a good route. And he's still looking to the right, trying to find something. And we're rolling out here. And we do pick up enough for a first down. So, once again, good job by Max. He didn't see anything, and then we get a lucky penalty. All right, so 1st and goal, and Greg McElroy pointed this out in the broadcast. We're trying to run this flat route to Jure Jenkins, and Colt Taylor just plays a little too soft for me. This was just too easy. In order for this play to work, we got to cut this guy. We got to make sure he doesn't get in this passing angle. And Cole it's just too soft, and they're able to deflect this ball. And I'm really happy we never had to play Smoke Monday again. He's a really good football player. We need Cole to get a better piece. That's just soft. We're a soft football team right now. I mean, look. I mean, that's no resistance whatsoever. And that ball would have hit Jure in stride. We don't know what would have happened. Probably would have been brought down for no gain, but still. So we get to the 2nd and goal play, and this is once again just really bad run blocking. We just could not block this odd front. There's only one down lineman here, okay? 5 guys. We have 6-ish guys blocking here. We have to be able to run against this. What happens here, though? Same thing. Nose tackle's just dominating us. We don't get a clean pass off here. We miss the second level block. There's just nothing there. There's just nothing. I don't know what TDP could have done differently here. Alrighty, 3rd and goal, and I heard someone in the post game say, why didn't we have Kayshawn be this guy? Well, Kayshawn, I don't think would have gotten press man here. Notice they're bracketing, kind of sort of bracketing him in the slot right here. Simply put, Max makes a really good read right here. Deion Smith, who had a great game 2 games ago, honestly just dropped this. You in the red zone where the field gets tight, you have to have wide receivers make these really difficult catches. We get a clean pocket, good pass protection from Liam and everybody, and you just got to catch this. It's a really difficult catch, but Deion's had drop issues these last 2 games, and that's a touchdown. That's a 4-point swing right there. Alrighty, so we kick the field goal, and we fast forward here to this 3rd and 2, where Ali Gay missed the opportunity to bring down Bo Nix. But this isn't entirely on Ali Gay. So we load the box, and I'm fine with it. If you don't believe their playmakers can beat you deep, load the box, play press man. The only issue with that is you got to have a defensive line that can make plays, okay? Joseph Evans, good initial bull rush. You got to get off this and make a play here and help out Ali Gay. We get chipped. BJ's nowhere close, and we need Ali Gay to make this play. This is a tough sack, though, and once again, our defensive tackles combined for 2 tackles. It just wasn't a great game for them, and Bo Nix can just run around these guys like he did last year. And this was just a good play by Bo Nix, throwing off his right foot for a big gain here. So, once again, I would have switched up my pass rushing philosophy just a little bit and made sure that I had faster defensive tackles on the field. Move ahead here to this 3rd and 10. We have our better defensive tackle duo, pass rushing duo out there, and Ali Gay just makes a big play. Once again, too much blame was put on him for missing that sack early. That's a tough bring down in that situation. So this tackle, I don't know why he leaned like that. Good rip move to get underneath, and it was covered anyway. So good stuff. And Cordell Flott once again another great game. Get a block kick. Jay Ward is just so good at getting off the edge on these kicks. It really is ridiculous. Something that I found really interesting is Jay Ward takes his right glove off to block a kick. That I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. I don't know exactly why he does that, but he takes his right glove off and I think puts it in his pants. It wasn't blocked by Jay Ward. Joseph Evans was right there too. So good rush by Evans to get up the middle. So that's a good note right there. Make sure Joseph Evans is on every field goal block as well. Also, New Roads, Louisiana, stand up. Matthew Langlois right there. So we get a huge play. Now let's go for the jugular. We left some points on the field last time around, and we're running the football low snap. Good job right here by Chasen Hines. Helping out Liam on this double. No, Smoke Monday was the backside linebacker because they were in the backside safety linebacker hybrid. Because they were in man coverage, he ran with Jack Besh. So we got a little lucky there that their run fits here were really bad, and we were able to get a 2-for-1 that we talked about a lot last week. So we're getting a block on the backside, and Monday takes himself out of the play. That's the main reason why this play worked. But good run blocking here. Good job by Corey Kiner with some good juice getting through that gap. Now we just need him to make a play here, and he does. Picks up some good yards there. Okay, 1st and 10. We get a snap here. See what happens. Good offense. Really good stuff. For RPOing, they called a run blitz. But when you play fast offense, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. If you get the football off quickly, you can always beat even unblocked rushers from the edge. We're getting decent protection, and we're hitting Jack Besh again. This was not easy either. This was a tighter window. But once again, if you're playing quick offense, pass protection doesn't matter. Good stuff. Good stuff right there. Now we're in field goal range. Now we need Jack Besh to do Jack Besh things. Nasty right there. Good stuff to pick up a few extra yards. Once again, when you have a center that's struggling versus a nose tackle, it affects your second level blocks because you want to make sure that you get this nose blocked. What happens here, though, is Chasen Hines, we need him to seal this guy to the backside, okay? So what happened here was that these linebackers actually crossed. And maybe this is a better way to play defense, just having stacks of guys right here. It makes it so difficult for the line to block. Chasen Hines could have done better right here. But it's a difficult block because he was drifting. And once that happened, Ed Ingram saw that this guy was going unblocked. This guy was able to come underneath and make this tackle right here. This could have gone for a lot more. Actually, that was a good cutback, but once again, our offensive guard's getting to the second level and not blocking anybody. So 2nd and 4, we try and run it again with Kiner. He's got kind of a hot hand here. And once again, even though they don't get push, we're not pushing them either. They're just reestablishing this line. We're getting nothing. No surge. And because of that, Smoke Monday was able to fight back inside on Deculus. And we're just not getting surge. So it sets up this 3rd and short. Once again, they only have one down lineman, and they are not ready for the snap, okay? So any football mind will tell you that Auburn is screwed right here, but we whiffed the nose tackle. Liam whiffs right here, and we're screwed right here. Then because of this whiff, 9 is able to just shoot this A-gap and get right through the middle here, and we whiffed there. And lucky enough, Kiner had a real strong finish here. No, this was actually stopped. I don't know. I'm a go-for-it kind of guy. I kind of get the field goal here as well, knowing that our run blocking hasn't been going great. Gutsy call right here by O, and it was a right one. Analytically, it was a right move. Deculus got blown into our pulling tight end, okay? So this is blown up right here, okay? But because Liam and Chasen Hines got really good blocks on these noses, see what happens when you're able to block that zero tech nose? It opens up so many things for your offense. We finally get a good block on the nose. Finally. And because we did, even though Deculus and Mashburn got blown up by 25, it was a good job right here by Cole Taylor to finish off his block here, and we were able to get just enough for this first down. So this is, even though we didn't get clean blocks elsewhere, okay, so now we're pulling guards, okay? We're pulling both our guard and our tackle, and we're trying to run this with Kiner, and boom, finally we pull it, okay? The defensive ends are crashing down. We get exactly what we want. Great play call right here by Jake to show this pulling guard motion, okay? Now, why can't the safety attack down? Well, because of our RPO game on film, safety has to sit right here and stop any routes coming over the middle, okay? Because his defensive end crashes down so hard, it leaves a wide open pocket of space for Max to run through. You could not have called a better play, but because Max is not the absolute best runner, he trips on his own feet. Huge. This is not great. Once again, Josh Williams is a good story. He's just not somebody I would give a carry to. But the bottom line is we whiff this nose tackle again. Liam whiffs it again. Okay? So Josh Williams has to make this guy miss on this draw. And because we whiffed it, and because this end read this draw pretty quickly, Josh didn't just take these yards here. So he decides to bounce it. And because he's not the absolute best athlete in the world, because we whiffed this right here, the defensive tackle was able to make this tackle from the backside. All right, so now we get to this third down play. Oh, boy. There's so many issues with this play, and we're going to show you the end zone angle in just a second. It's a microcosm of everything that is flawed with the LSU offense. because Max tripped on first down, and because we missed some good blocking opportunities on second down, and because we had the holding penalty, we're putting the game on the shoulders of Max Johnson, who, by the way, overall had a really good first half, but he had a disastrous second half. And overall, he actually had, once again, like we mentioned earlier, really good turnover luck. Okay? And the issue with this is LSU is a football team that is not that great, and Max Johnson himself is a above average quarterback. But we always go back to the stat called QBR, okay? It's the ESPN stat. I like it a lot because it does weight your value of your opponent. And Max's QBR this game was an abysmal 50.4 after 2 consecutive games of having north of 85 QBR. So this was a bad regression, and this play shows everything that was wrong with Max Johnson on this play. So, once again, we're putting the game on his shoulders, and if we're going to win this game, we need Max to make this throw, okay? So what happens here is he's looking left, and then he tries to work to Kayshon Boutte backside. Can't throw it, though. There's 2 guys right there. That would be a very irresponsible throw, okay? So this is not open. We cannot throw this ball. Now, we bring it back again, all right? We get a good snap right on the money. We get a chip right here from Jack Besh to help out Anthony Bradford. And across the way, we finally get decent pass protection. Once again, a little too much bull rush right there. But he has time, okay? And honestly, this defense should have been pretty easy to read pre-snap. They're not really showing us anything exotic per se. Obviously, this guy could come off the edge, this guy could come off the edge, but it's pretty clear that they're not rushing. And he's looking to the left side, and there really is no pressure at all. So now, once you see the shell, there are 2 different throws you could potentially make. You could throw this ball over the top to Malik Neighbors on a safety and just try and float that ball into that space in the middle of the bracket here. Or what you should have done, shout out to my guy Max Toscano, is hit the dig route, okay? Once you see that this guy's back is running with Malik Neighbors to the middle of the field, your deep crosser is going to be open. You got to sit in here, step up, and once again, it's a long developing play. Good job by Josh to come help out right here, but instead, stop, reset your feet, and then throw this ball, okay? But don't roll out to your right, because once again, Deculus had good protection right here. He's riding him up the field, and, you know, that's not on him. That's not on him at all. So Max is out doing this. He's drifting, and ball security's bad. And I don't know if he was trying to throw it here or here, but it's just bad quarterbacking. And that's a big reason why you have a stat like QBR, because you look at Max's stats overall, they look okay, but his performance really dropped off in the second half. Boom. So I hope you're enjoying this film study. Please drop a subscribe and all that. You guys know that mumbo jumbo. And if you want to drop a Venmo, Super Chat, Cash App, whatever, that obviously helps the channel grow and it helps me out. But who cares about me? We need to go out there and win this game, okay? Now, if you are an LSU fan, we all probably are LSU fans. I know some Auburn fans are probably watching this. You got away with a blatant hold right here. I'm not one to complain about holding, but this is really blatant. And this is big because Jaquelin Roy pass rushing out of a 3 technique, the outside shoulder of the guard, has been our money play. His swim move to the inside. Watch how smooth it is. Whoop. And boom. You just can't. That's got to be called. This is blatant. Let holding go unless it's blatant. That is blatant. Really blatant. And he probably gets home if he's not held. Or the throw would not have been as perfect as it was right here. And this was honestly just a really good catch. The coverage was good. Sometimes you're just going to get back-shouldered. Heck, Bo Nix back-shouldered Derek Stingley a lot last year. Alrighty, so they get a couple of good runs, and now we're in first down. We're crowding the line of scrimmage, and you can do that when they don't have skill guys that can get open on you, and they just never got open on us. We get good rush here by Ali Gay, but we did a film study on this exact thing. We lost our pass rush lane integrity here. Our defensive tackles are just way too close, and we need we just need Neil Farrell to be right here to make this play. This is just too easy, okay? We're getting no pressure at all, and I understand I'm being really critical of the LSU defensive tackles when they stuffed the run really good, but Auburn honestly just kind of gave up on the run since Bo Nix was playing so well. I mean, we've got to have our lane integrity. We broke down basically this exact play from last year as well, and that's just way too many yards right here. Good job by Bo missing that tackle, and they pick up the first down. So here we go. We pick it up here in the fourth quarter. This is vintage Auburn football, right? Very creative run concepts, whether it's Gus, Chizik, and now with Harsin. We actually get a little lucky here that Bo Nix pulls it because Bug Strong ran right into this wash. Because we had such a stacked box, you see Tank actually carried out his run fake here. He would have ran right in untouched for a very easy touchdown, especially since we were in man and Eli was running with this guy. Tank would have gone in untouched. So we get a little lucky here that our run fits here were bad. And we actually do a good job setting this edge right here. Good stuff right here by Jay Ward sitting and forcing this inside. Now we got 1, 2, 3 defenders here ready to make this tackle to the inside. And here we go. We need Neil Farrell to just crash down here and make this play. And he gets a little too stiff right here. But we got to have this tackle right here on the 2nd and 4. And we get a bad whiff. Bad whiff right there. He gains, in fact, an extra 3 or 4 yards right there. So now Auburn has us on our heels again. And this is another case where if Bo Nix would have handed this ball off to Tank, he would have scored. He actually did a smart thing to actually, I am shocked he didn't give it to Tank here again. They're running their vintage duo blocking scheme, and Tank would have probably got this and bounced in this hole. They are washing BJ so far out. So Tank probably would have bounced and gone in untouched. But look at this. I mean, this is what happens when you play 88 plays a week before. You start to get tired. And this is why it's critical for Ed Orgeron to see this, because when your defensive tackles are getting blown off the football, once again, this was not a good keep read by Bo. You got to understand your defense is gassed at this point. And look at all this surge. Still, we should be in position to make this play. And we're a little late getting out here. Bad job right here by Damon just to try and hit him. You got to wrap up and bring him down. And they score a touchdown anyway. So we actually got lucky there on 2 plays in a row that he actually didn't hand that football off. Pick it up here on the next drive. This is first down. And this is, once again, Max had very good turnover luck. He did a smart thing, obviously, on this RPO to keep it. Trying to hit a quick slant to Trey. It really wasn't there. There wasn't a whole lot of separation generated here by Trey. And this ball just pops right up in the air. Auburn had one of these versus TJ in the second half last year. And good hustle right here by Max and Deculus to not give up on this and force this ball to fall to the ground eventually. So, honestly, turnover luck was in our favor. So this is just Derek Mason got in his bag, man. He drops 9 here, okay? 2-man rush, dropping 9. So, Max, we need him to sit as long as he possibly can. Nobody is getting open. And once again, there's just nothing. Okay? Now, TDP's trying to venture off here. Good job, Max, making this guy miss. And now they were still able to get some delayed pressure. And this is what I think LSU should have done. Once again, that's a drop by TDP. This was catchable. right here. Yeah, it was catchable. And I know it looks very conservative defensively, but I thought LSU should have done some of this. Because they weren't getting open against our receivers, what Derek Mason decided to do was bring delayed guys. So notice he's got a fast Mike linebacker chasing after Max Johnson, and we get a whiff again here from Cam Wire, and they actually have athletes getting off of blocks. We could not do that with some of our rushers. So once again, just with 3 guys and on a delay, 9 should still not have gotten through there. So now we're starting to really struggle, and once again, they're giving us exotic looks, and they do the same thing. Rush 2, drop 9, okay? And we throw this ball underneath to Brian Thomas Jr., and he actually almost makes this guy miss. So that's pretty filthy by Derek Mason. Just in your back pocket out of nowhere, 2 plays in a row, rush 2, drop 9. This was really good right here by Mason Smith. Kill and spill technique. Take up these pulling guards, force it to the outside. Damon Clark's right there. Good job by Jay Ward chasing this down from the back side. Now, DARONTE Jones had a defensive play in his back pocket, and it worked, but Auburn was still able to convert a clutch first down. We'll show you that play in just a second, but right here, a good job filling the run. Here we go, second down, and they're trying to run the football again. Good job right here by Jacoby and Guillory eating up this double, and Mason Smith making a nice play from the backside. So here we got our 3rd and 6. We got our best pass rushing 4 out there, and this was actually a really good call right here by DARONTE Jones. Double QB spy, okay? We get a good rush right here by Mason Smith, but now we have layers right here to where when Bo Nix steps up, we miss this sack right here. We have 2 spies, so he can't just scramble around for 1,000 yards. Even though he did a ridiculous job to keep this play alive, still, that was a good call right there by DARONTE. We get the 3rd down. I thought this was a little bit of a missed opportunity to go DJ Chark here on a punt return. We miss a critical block right here. It's kind of hard to see who this guy is, but Dwight McLaughlin was our gunner right here, and we don't get a good block on the outside. We let the gunner come a little too free, but you guys saw the Mississippi State game last week where Trey Palmer had a ridiculous punt return. Thought he waited for this fair catch a little too early. Yeah, he had room. He had room. It wouldn't have been much. It wouldn't have gone for much, but it was there. Okay, so this is going to look... this is going to be a little boring. I know I like to cut my film study to be as tight as possible, but I want you to see how much movement there is from these front guys, okay? This is what happens when it takes you a while to get your play call in. It makes it that much harder on your offensive line who has to stay in the stance for a long time. But look at all this movement. Now we're checking into something else, and then we're showing them a new front, okay? God, Smoke Monday just gives us such bad headaches. You see all this movement right here? They're not static. They only have one guy down. Georgia does a relatively good job of it, but this was just really good stuff. Who are you blocking? Who's coming? Who's going? It's a little bit different than LSU's 4-man front where it's a little bit easier. So they drop out of this. Good, easy read right here by Max to go to Jack Besh in this situation. And good job by Jack making this guy miss. Almost did. Here we are, 3rd and 5. Good call. Every 3rd down play should go to Jack Besh from now on. Running 2 slant routes. Kayshawn once again bracketed by 3 guys. Got to fit this ball in this tight window. Jack Besh, good throw, good catch. We're moving the chains. Rare 3rd down conversion in the second half. All right, so I'm just going to make a simple observation. And this is just from a larger sample dating back to last year. I don't know if Trey Palmer is the answer at one of the wide receiver spots. He didn't generate a whole lot of separation in this game just based on what I was watching. I might be wrong on that. But an even deeper issue with me, and honestly, the protection wasn't great here. Once again, you want Max to step up just a little bit, but not the best from Deculus. They doubled Jack Besh here, and the one-on-one was to the outside. I'd rather BTJ be running this route. This was a route that he dominated Mississippi State with last week, and Max just misses it. This wasn't a good throw, but him and Trey just don't have much chemistry. I know they hit, so now we get this 2nd and 10, okay? Let's get a touchdown. Let's get up by 2 possessions. There's no reason for us to get shut out with 10:38 left to go in this game. Okay? Once again, only 1 down lineman. Essentially, they're running a 3-man front, but in a way, it's like a 1-5-5. So we have to be able to run against this, right? And we throw a quick out here to Malik. That's a good throw. So we need Malik to make a play. Make this guy miss, do something, and we just kind of run out of bounds. We do get some positive yards. Okay, we'll take it. Okay, 3rd and 5. Let's see what happens here. They bring 4. Okay. Oh, man. Yeah, we take a sack here. Protection wasn't the best. It's kind of one of those tweener things where, you know, the protection wasn't the worst, the routes weren't the worst, but none of it was necessarily great. So here we go. Little criticism of Jake Peets here. So it's clear they're in single high, okay? So we know they're in single high, and we know they're probably going to play single high. We have Kayshon Boutte in press, okay? We got to go over the top here, guys. We got to go over the top. They were sitting on these slants. Okay, there's only so many times you can actually run this play. Okay, so they're actually running the perfect coverage. They have inside leverage, inside help on these slants just throughout. Okay, could he have thrown this ball to Jack? Yes, it was definitely there. But also, Max makes the good decision right here to step up and run, okay? It's clear that they're over-penetrating. We just need Liam to finish off this double and finish washing this guy upfield. He does a good job redirecting. Ed Ingram gets tripped up by his own guy, and Max has an alley to run. Liam just can't block anybody. He just can't. Once again, this isn't as bad as some of his other misses, but every time a defensive lineman makes contact, he's getting blown back into. So just a few different design flaws here. Our interior offensive line gets bull rushed way too easy. Second thing, obviously, if they're going to play press man like this, we got to have something where Kayshon's going over the top and we're taking a kill shot, able to make the block to get Max through. And the thing is, if he gains a few yards there, we have a more manageable 4th. This is so great, man. It's so great to see a packed Tiger Stadium. Auburn fan doesn't care. Look at this. Do you even lift, bro? Got Tiger Stadium. Student section was still pretty much jam-packed. People were boozing all day. 3rd and 10. It's loud. It's wild. Alrighty, so we get a snap here. And, okay, I want you to focus on this. Remember this, okay? We bring a delayed blitz right up the gut. Okay? QB spy, Damon Clark. And this is just really well done. We want him rolling to his left and throwing across his body. And there's just nothing there. We make another good play. Good job by Dwight McGlothern. Once again, this is a good check by Derek Mason, and it was only a matter of time before a team started doing this. So against Central Michigan and Mississippi State, defensive coordinators respected the heck out of the run. And notice, when we play action, we give not 1 but 2 play action fakes. Nobody bit on 1st and 10. So this is, once again, a good call by Derek Mason. Make them run the football. And we don't, obvious. And the play action isn't as effective when they don't have linebackers sprinting down. So Max Johnson hits this check down. Brian Thomas Jr. was on a jet sweep. And once again, look at BTJ. He's got so much wiggle in his step for being so big. He actually spins out of this, and he almost got through there. These deep hitters were there. They played press man up on our wide receivers. We're freaking LSU. Our outside receivers, once we get this and the safety is this far over, we got to go over the top if they're going to play that aggressive press man coverage. But here we go. Let's see what happens. Second down. And Max is looking for the slant. Was there a window to put this ball into? It's tough without the end zone camera. So he rolls out to the left because the end lost contain. Smart decision here. But once again, they had a QB spy the whole time because Max had been killing them on some scrambles. And we actually get a really nice throw and catch right here to BTJ. And they make a really good tackle right here on him as well. And he's still not down. So good stuff right there by Max to not force that tight window throw and work his way to the left. I don't think it was there. So let's see. We get the snap here, and this is the miss. And, yeah, you know, once again, this bull rush is just so filthy. It was all night. And then Max misses an open jack bash here, and it was there. It was a tough throw. It's kind of an awkward throw, and it's got to be made. And we brought this up after the Mississippi State game. On critical third downs, once again, it doesn't help that your center's getting blown into you, but that had been happening all game. And this is just kind of an awkward throw. It's not the easiest throw, but Ed Orgeron mentioned this in the press conference. He threw off his back foot. He had time to reset his feet and put this ball to make this ball more catchable. And it was just a bad miss. So, yes, LSU's running game isn't good, but at least if your running game is not good, you have to be able to throw to your running backs out of the backfield. And that is ultimately what decided this game. You saw the teaser text earlier. Auburn was able to throw to their running back out of the backfield. We weren't. And guess what happens? Miscommunication. TDP is wide open in the flat. He catches this ball, he might score. And now it's 4th and 2. Okay? We should go for it. We should go for it. The analytics says for us to go for it, right? And that's just my mentality. If you're in plus territory, go for it. Okay? But what happened was this was a good call. Liam, once again, snap infraction. You can't pop your head up and down, and it didn't even work. But punting the football here is a cowardly move. You're trying to back into a win. I hate that. That's not who I am as a person. That's not how a lot of you are. I'm a go for it in plus territory kind of guy. And here's the thing. Max is frustrated because let him decide the game. Yes, his second half has been horrible, but he's all we had in this game, right? The throwing. That's the only reason we had a chance to win this game. Let him decide the game for you. But once again, we're trying to back into a victory where Auburn was aggressive, and I freaking hate that. This was just a cowardly decision. Now, I understand your defense had made 2 stops in a row, which is something they didn't do a whole lot of, okay? It is hard for you to get a 3rd stop in a row. Also, keep this in mind. All they need is a field goal. So this is not a situation where you're up by 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever. All they need is a field goal. So this idea, play field position, well, they don't need to get as many yards as they normally would, especially considering that they have a good field goal kicker on the other sideline. This is a laughably bad decision right here to punt. I understand the analytics actually makes it a little bit of a closer decision, but That's just who I am. I'm not, and I understand Ed Orgeron's a defensive guy, punt the football, play good defense. That's an archaic mindset. This is not the mid-90s anymore. It's time to get with the times and be aggressive on fourth down. Plus, your defense played 88 plays last week. You have to know at some point they're going to get tired. So they run a QB draw. Oh, man. What was Sony Fanua doing here? Okay, good tackle right there by Jay Ward in the open field. He made that look a lot easier than what it was. Okay? This was a good play call. Auburn getting this guy in motion to clear Damon Clark out because they figured we'd be in man coverage. What's very interesting is that we actually had the right call to stop this quarterback draw. We're actually stunning our defensive end to the inside. Okay? Notice we have like a slant stunt. All right? And Jaquelin Roy is attacking this A gap. Sony Fanua is attacking this B gap. And if he would have attacked this B gap, we would have slowed down this QB draw. But for some reason, he spun back this way and got eaten up right here. I don't know why he decided to do that. And that made this quarterback draw part like the Red Sea. So I don't know what he was doing. I know this was Sony Fanua's first game back from, and Jadre Kirkland as well, from the mysterious academic suspension. I would just prefer Ali Gay to be on the field, considering he was having a pretty decent game overall rushing the passer. Okay, so 1st and 10. Bo Nix has nowhere to go. Good job by Sony Fanua here to break this rush and keep contained. We're keeping contained. Good stuff. This is a great rush. Good play overall, and we force Bo Nix to throw the football away. That was catchable, though. Alrighty, 2nd and 10. Mason loses his footing a little bit here. Not really getting much pass rush from anyone. Okay, we need Guillory to get off here and make a play. And Bo Nix is just running. And he picks up some decent yards. Good job by the QB spies, not letting him get any more than 4 here. Alrighty, so we get to this critical 3rd and 5. Okay? Good call right here. We really struggle with pre-snap motion. And one thing pre-snap motion lets Bo Nix know is that they're in man coverage. Okay? And we actually show a double A-gap blitz. And we have an A-gap blitzer. But Bo Nix is able to do some simple math, okay? We know that this corner is more than likely guarding this guy. This safety's guarding this guy. This safety's probably guarding the tight end. If they're both going to come on a blitz, who's going to have the running back? Okay? Well, nobody is. Okay? I have a theory of what actually went wrong on this play. Still, we had Jay Ward, who was a great open field tackler throughout this game. He had a chance. That's just a tough play to make, though. Okay, so remember earlier I said DARONTE Jones needs to have some plays in his back pocket. This was the first time, really all year on film, we showed a double A-gap blitz. And guess what? It worked. What I would have done, though, is if I know this blitz is what is probably going to get me home, okay, DARONTE knew that this blitz was going to work. We had not shown this look. We timed it well. So you as a defensive coordinator has to know that more than likely we're going to get somebody coming through the A-gap. Every defensive coordinator will tell you this is what they prefer. More than any other defensive call on the planet, a blitzing, untouched linebacker coming through the A-gap. What I would have done is have this defensive end or the defensive end to the running back side run with the running back in the flat. And that might have been the call. BJ looked like he kind of sort of did that earlier. And technically the safety is the last line of defense. We didn't have anybody covering the running back, though. And what I would have done is have BJ flare out with this running back, especially considering BJ is more than likely not going to be the guy that gets home anyway. It's going to be this guy. So what I would do if you're going to do this look again is if this was Ali Gay on this side, him guard the flat, BJ guard the flat. If we do that, we're winning the football game here, okay? Because we're getting a big sack. But no, we don't. That might have been the call. I'm not sure. So Jay Ward does a good job realizing that, and he leaves his man to go try and make this play, and he's just not able to. It's a tough play. It was makeable, but you notice the difference in the two teams, right? We had an opportunity to hit our running back in the flat to move the chains, and we didn't do it. But they have a running back that they could trust throwing the football to. Once again, it's just simple. It's simple pitch and catch. It's the easiest throw. It's one of the – it actually is the safest throw you can make in the game, a horizontal throw to a wide-open running back. And, yeah, you know, and honestly, some of that's on Jake Peets because that was a big thing with him. He coached Christian McCaffrey, arguably the best pass-catching running back of the last decade, definitely since LaDainian. You know, it's just something that's not a part of our offense, but it's a part of Auburn's offense. We move along here, okay? 1st and 10. Play action. Running back gets a really good block right here on Ali Gay. Ali does a good job continuing his pursuit, okay? All right. So we're playing good defense. We force a throwaway here. Ali Gay getting a little... I thought he caught like a little cramp right there. Hustled right through it. Quarterback spy coming down. Overall, though, all things considered, this had been a good defensive series. Okay, we called our best blitz. They called the perfect play. We're not getting beat over the top. Everything's going fine. Auburn's a little disheveled. They had 2 throwaways. Our pass rush is doing decent getting home. So there is absolutely no reason to call a defensive timeout to regather, right? But guess what we do? We call a defensive timeout in the second half of a close game. Why? Why? Okay? Maybe we only had 10 guys on the field. Could you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't see Cordell Flott. Maybe Major Burns is deep right here. I don't know if Flott is hurt or there might be a safety there. We might have only had 10 guys on the field. I don't know. This is a bad timeout, though. In the second half of a close game, you need those timeouts just in case they do drive down the field, and you need it for time-saving measures. Plus, they're not driving the football on us. We're playing good defense up to this point. We're not giving up explosive plays. They've only hit one flare out to the running back. You have to understand when you call this defensive timeout, number one, it is not a good time-saving measure because you need it for time-saving measures later in the game potentially. And number two, this allows Auburn's coaching staff to call their absolute best play. And it does give Auburn a little bit more of an advantage as well because our defense is not exotic. We go out and we run basically the same play. We run basically the same sets. So we're more predictable anyway. So this gave Auburn plenty of opportunities to go through their playbook to see. So they come out of the timeout and they get us on misdirection again. And what happens here is we honestly gave way too many defenders the respect of a wide receiver that is legit basically 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and we commit more guys to stopping him. So Eli Ricks was in man coverage on this pulling tight end line wide receiver type, so he is sprinting from here to here. Ali Gay's also guarding this guy, which he should. But you see, actually both of our linebackers and this defender is running to this guy, and now they have numbers, okay? B.J. Ojolari, we'll show you a better angle in just a second. He gets sealed, and they kick Jay Ward out. Jay did a good job forcing this inside, but that was just a really good play design. Okay, so not only do we burn the defensive timeout, we're not even ready. And once again, we're just committing way too many guys in the box to where they're going to get caught up in this mush. And you'll see here, look at how many guys get lost because of this zero guy pitching around the side. And ironically, I don't know why LSU decided to do this. We came out of the timeout in a traditional 4-3 alignment when they only had one tight end on the field. So we brought in Bug Strong. So we brought in a heavier package because this is Baskerville, this is Damon Clark, and essentially our best player, who up to this point, Cordell Flott, I don't know if he was hurt. We take Cordell Flott off the field here. So we also have less speed. So notice how many guys get fooled. Once again, our run fits are so bad. Okay, we have two people playing the contain role on the backside, which isn't good. Okay, so look at all these guys we have committed. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys committed to a pitch man and a quarterback going this way. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. And actually, this guy got fooled by it as well. Micah Baskerville got fooled by this. And he's sprinting this way. So we called the defensive timeout, and we have the worst defensive snap of the night. Yes, those Bo Nix plays were crazy, but at least he made it a spectacular play. This defensive timeout was a disaster. And Ed Orgeron, I mean, it's horrible because they called their absolute best play, a look that we haven't seen all night, and we run our worst defensive play. And then also coming out of the timeout, last line of defense, just ride him out of bounds. At least force him to go back inside, but no. We get juked. And lucky enough, Damon Clark is an elite athlete, and he's able to run him down. Because 27's got some serious speed. Oh, it was such a bad timeout. And it probably cost us the game. I know that sounds crazy, but it's a big reason why we lost this game. It makes no sense. And we've been doing it, and it never hardly ever works. We did it in crunch time against Mississippi State. They scored a touchdown on the next play. We did it against Missouri. They scored a touchdown on the next play. It is a disastrous move. Even if it works, it's still only 2nd and 10. It just seemed like there was no reason for this. This was a freak play where the ball clearly hit the ground. Okay, 2nd and 10. Let's see what happens here. Okay, they're zone reading again. It makes sense. It's been working. And Bo Nix is looking to try and make something happen. Good job by Ali Gay getting in that rush angle. This is just a big-time throw. You just got to give Bo Nix some credit there. Eli could have had tighter coverage there. That was just a big play right there. So now it's 3rd and 3, and I'm guessing Cordell was just hurt at this point. This is Cam Lewis right here. Okay? And once again, our box is really loaded. We bring this 5th defender to the line of scrimmage, and we have late communication. Now we have our safety running down here, and Jay Ward is taking over the free safety role. Okay? And, well, what do you know? They do essentially the same thing on 3rd down, and this was actually just designed. So essentially, if they know we're in man coverage right here, they know that with these 3 guys, whoever's guarding the running back, that's just too much traffic for him to run through. And we read this late. Bug Strong's getting picked off here, and this ball was actually behind him. But look at this, okay? This is just a well-designed play. So Major Burns is having to sprint all the way from where he was to get out to this running back. That's just too hard of an ask right there. And Major Burns actually is trying to fight through all this traffic right here. It's just hard, man. That's just another well-designed play. I am shocked we didn't try zone in this situation. But look, this is kind of like the same thing with the UCLA game, where we did not make Bo Nix beat us by throwing to his wide receivers. Now, he made a big-time throw on that 2nd down to a wide receiver, but it was difficult. The one thing we don't want to do is give up easy swing routes to the running back. So here we go, 1st and goal. They motion over a tight end, and they're running just a simple pitch play here. Once again, these pullers are starting to move us, okay? We lose contain right here. They wash him out, and they almost score right here. Once again, it was Damon Clark to save the day right here at the 1 yard line. 2nd and goal, it's tight. It's time to just sell out and try and do something here. Once again, we're getting no push. Our defensive tackle, Guillory's on the ground, and he is just through. So as many of you know, before we even run a play after this kickoff, we call a timeout because we were so slow getting the play in, and we're making all kinds of calls, and that, of course, is inexcusable, especially in the spot. Max's stats, you see the regression here. 235 in the first half, 73 in the second half. Once again, that's not all on him, but the defense adjusted, and Max in crunch time has been a little bit of an issue. If there has been a big weakness to his game, that might be his biggest. So, once again, even coming out of the timeout, let's just run a play. And we actually do get what we want. We get Trey Palmer, a really fast wide receiver, over the top, and you'll see here our protection isn't the absolute best. So it gets Max a little off platform here, okay? And ironically, Trey getting a step on this guy is pretty surprising considering he was bailing out. And let me see this protection again. They're running a twist stunt. Chasen Hines gets beat on this twist. He did a good job recovering to get a piece. And so the protection does break down here. We don't do a good job picking up these twists. So still, Max is a clean enough pocket to make this throw. Trey had a step, and it floated on him. Okay? We need that ball out there. So now it's 2nd and 10, and Max is basically making that same protection call. We're essentially doing the same thing. Protection call, head to the sideline. Let's see what happens here. We're snapping the ball normally around 10 seconds. And we throw a quick little route here to Trey. Okay? And we need you to get out of bounds. Okay? Can't. Guy was all over you. Still plenty of time, though. You only have one timeout left. There is zero excuse to allow this play clock to go below 10. Okay? Zero. Okay? You want to increase your opportunities to win the game. Either way, Max makes a big-time throw here to Dion, and Dion's had his issues with drops. That was a big-time catch right there on that slant. Alrighty, so here we go. Once again, 18 seconds. That's a little too much time to go off the clock there. Was this out there? It was. What is he looking at? Oh, man. Yes, he's looking right there, and he won't let it go. I don't know if he's... Max, it could just be mental. Oh, God, and Jack was there too. Once again, you're not getting a first down, but we need these 8 yards. And instead, we're throwing up a bomb that is just not there at all. I just think it's pressure. Okay, bad miss on first down. So to settle him down, we're going to run. We should be able to run on this. I understand that a run doesn't look like a good call here, but it honestly is, okay? We get the double. Now, once this double, we need Liam to get to this nose tackle, and we need Ed Ingram to step up and make this block right here on the second-level defender. It's difficult. This should have been an easy pass-off just with this pre-snap read with these two guys right here. Step here, get the nose tackle inside, and take a chance right here. Okay? So get off this block. Let's get to the second level. And what happens? Well, Liam gets reset here. And I don't know what TDP was thinking. I still think you just got to run it up in there. And he tries to bounce it to the outside. and we hardly get anything. Once again, that's a favorable look to run on. It doesn't look like it. You have to be able to run to the weak side there, knowing that pre-snap alignment. We had exactly what we want. So 17 seconds, 18 seconds. Max had been good on third down all night. 18 seconds, runs off the clock again. Okay? We missed the first down throw. Second down, don't get the run. And now we're throwing this ball to Kayshawn, and it was there. It floated a little bit. Kayshawn had to wait for it. It's hard to be critical of Kayshawn knowing all the catches he made. We got to have this one, though. It was ruled a catch, but then it was overturned. He had a clear lane to run through here as well if he wanted it. But this is the right call. We're running this kind of like a mesh concept and rub routes, whatever you want to call it, and we just got to get this ball caught. So here we go, fourth down. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Bunched up pretty tight here. And if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this ball should have gone to Bash. Boom. Now it's tough. This is a little bit tougher because obviously in this situation, we do want to give this play a chance. So, look, it's kind of tough on a fourth down to go to Bash here. Okay. Smoke Monday gets a really good jam. But it would have been there. Once again, that's tough because he was drifting to his right. And Max, it's just a good call right here by Mason to have that QB spy to come hard on Max. Pause. But to have him come on that delayed blitz like that, and once again, they do a good job not returning it and just falling to the ground. So we get an end zone angle here. I just think you got to go to Jack Bash here. I think you got to find some way to get Jack Bash his football. He's been your chain mover all night. Protection's actually fine. And once again, he's trying to find Kayshawn with the game on the line. Okay? Is this a doable throw to Jack Bash? Maybe. Okay? I just want to go to Jack Bash or Kayshawn with the game on the line. This actually ended up being open. He had the opportunity to deliver this ball to Dion to move the chains, and he sailed it. Max throwing off his back leg. And it's ironic that Max had about 3 or 4 interceptable balls if you include the first half. The ball that shouldn't have been intercepted, you don't want to intercept that ball right there. Just knock it down. But still, the fact that his final throw was the one that actually got intercepted was a little bit ironic and just an overall microcosm of Max's night. So there you go. That's essentially the film study. I know you guys have been watching for a while now, so I'll keep it brief here. Max Johnson's QBR 50 is obviously not good, but that doesn't factor in the QBR metric, how much of an effect it has on a quarterback when a nose tackle is driving your center no less than 2 yards on every play. That's extremely difficult to do, and it kept happening. Every time Liam got hit, he was getting blown backwards. That is a DEFCON 1 issue. That is a non-negotiable issue, and every team from this point forward is going to do that exact thing. Ridgeway at Arkansas is a vicious nose tackle. Tim Smith at Alabama. Kentucky's got some really good nose tackles. DeMarvin Leal, whoever you want to mention, they're going to put those guys right up on Liam and drive him back. There needs to be a change there. It's too much to overcome at this point. Okay. And I like Liam Shanahan. It's not his fault that he's being put in this spot. It's the fact that we don't have another contingency plan. The second thing is, it's hard to be critical of Max because he carried us with no running game, second year as a starter. But I go back to the stat a lot that in the history of the modern era of LSU football, there has never been a good second-year starter who took over as the full-time starter at LSU. Every great quarterback at LSU has been a third, fourth, or fifth-year player. So Max is kind of ahead of the curve. It's just a really difficult thing to do. Once again, with no running game and some really iffy pass protection. With that said, the pressure of carrying the team is starting to get to him. And because Max is having to carry us, we need his input more so in the offense. Kind of like what they do in the NFL, right? Where they let the quarterback dictate more of the offense. You see Max just in his press conference and whatnot say that he's having to make protection calls. So now what Jake Peets, Ed Orgeron, and the rest of the staff needs to do is go to Max Johnson and say, what is it that you like to do? Okay? Which wide receivers do you like? Which concepts do you like? Because right now, I think LSU's playbook is just a little too scattered. The rotations of players are just a little too scattered. We still can't throw the ball to the running back out of the backfield. And this was the first game where a defensive coordinator was smart enough to not commit 1,000 safeties to the box and allow us to pitch and catch on slants versus them. So yeah, we are way too one-dimensional, and I know we have been critical of Max with the second half, but overall, even though the second half was bad, his first half was really good, and there's still a lot to be said there. And now we get to the elephant in the room, which is, of course, Ed Orgeron. I think that defensive timeout, I lost sleep over it last night. It makes no sense, and it's never made sense, and it's never worked. And how has there not been someone in the building that, and maybe someone has mentioned this to him, but we keep doing it, and we keep giving up big plays after it. I promise you, every second half crunch time defensive timeout that we've made, there's been a big play that has gone against us right after it. It's not only stupid from a time-saving measure, and I don't like using the word stupid, but it is. It just doesn't make any sense, right? And Ed Orgeron's just not good between the headset. And this is the issue, okay? And we got into it a little bit at the end of the live stream. Understand, once again, I like Ed Orgeron personally. He's done a lot for the great state of Louisiana, and I know we've been critical of players. I like everybody that wears the LSU uniform. So once again, our guys went out there and played hard. They didn't give up. I'm a fan at heart. But this is a trend of a team that regresses in the third quarters and the fourth quarters of games. We don't have a killer instinct. We are soft mentally. And when you have an opponent down, especially a Power 5 opponent, you have got to bury them into a ditch. I know that seems a very strong mindset. We don't have a killer instinct. We just don't. We are soft to a certain degree. We do get tired. We don't finish strong. Look at last week. Even in our game against Mississippi State, we didn't finish strong. So obviously, comment down below. Let me know what you think of today's film study. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon, okay? Don't forget live streams Tuesdays and Saturday of halftime and Saturday nights and all that good stuff. You know what to do, baby. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! We're doing some shrimp tonight. Let's go.